Hello, my name is Drew. I'm going to have to make a video response to this video. While it was very intriguing that Bill Maher had the gall to go and visit the Holy Land experience and interview the character of Jesus and interview the guests there, he made several serious errors that need to be addressed. And I want to address some of those right now. He compared Christianity to Mithra and some of the other religions of the Mediterranean at that time. Number one, there will be similarities in religious themes in that area given the agrarian culture. Okay, so because an agriculturally based society, as was the people of the ancient Mediterranean era, will undoubtedly develop similar theological themes, similar ideas, based upon the observable events of plants growing, dying, springtime coming, all the plant life, all the stuff that has died over the winter coming back to life. Resurrection is going to be a common theme, okay? But any reading of the Old Testament will show you that there's an intrusion of God into Jewish history in the Old Testament, clearly foretelling what Jesus would do. I mean, and then you add to that all the archaeological evidence that we have proving the Old Testament, and you have a document based on historical evidence. Okay? For example, here's some themes in the Old Testament. I wrote them down so I could share them with you. Psalm 110 verse 1 foretells the ascension of Jesus to the right hand of God. Leviticus 17:11, there's no forgiveness except the shedding of blood. Psalm 2 verse 7 says that Jesus would be the begotten Son. Psalm 22 verse 11 to 18 and Zechariah 12:10 speaks of the crucifixion. Micah 5 verse 1 to 2, Psalm verse 2 verse 7 speaks of Jesus being the eternal Son. Isaiah 9 verse 6 and 40 verse 3 talks about God coming and living among His people. Resurrection of Christ is foretold in Psalm 16 verse 9 to 10. So these are all examples of the themes that were already found in the Old Testament that predated Mithraism, that clearly foretell a Messiah that would come and suffer and die. So, as you can see by that, since Mithraism came long after the Old Testament was written, because the Old Testament was begun to be written about 2000 BC and was completed around 400 BC. There's no need for any Christian writers to borrow from anything other than the Old Testament in order to establish Christian doctrine concerning Jesus, because they already have all the material that they need. If the argument that mythology that predates, I mean, if you argue that Christianity, which is post-dated by these mythological religions, caused Christianity and its writers to want to borrow those themes in order to formulate their theology, then it also must be true then that the pagan religions borrowed from the Jewish religion, since that the Jewish religion predated the pagan mythologies, just like the pagan mythologies predate Christianity. Okay? So, and on top of that, you got to remember there were Jewish writers. They were Jewish to the core. Any incorporation of mythological themes, whatever the case may be, pagan themes, would have been abhorrent at that time, because of the fact that Judaism strongly rejected any kind of Gentile pagan ideas. When the writers of the New Testament wrote the New Testament, they completely and totally referred to the Old Testament for their evidence. They knew that there were key scriptures in the Old Testament that talked about that Messiah. the suffering Messiah that would die on the cross for the sins of the world. They had no need to borrow from anything else. They had no need to borrow from a pagan religion, to borrow from Mithraism, to borrow from the story of Krishna or any of the other Mediterranean gods. So I hope this helps, and I want to respond to the Krishna. I want to respond to the Krishna thing because that's another false error. The story of Krishna is nothing like Christianity at all. The story of Krishna's life, his early life, are absolutely and totally different from Jesus and his early life and his teachings. There was no baptism in the river. There was no having 12 disciples. No teaching about him dying on a cross and being resurrected. The only similarity in Krishna that I could find from my research on Krishna was the virgin birth, which wasn't even anything like the virgin birth story that you hear in the New Testament, because in the story of Krishna, Krishna's mother was thrown into jail, and while she was there in jail, she met a man, and they had no sexual relations, but this man, through telekinesis, it says through the mind, spoke a baby into the womb of Krishna's mother through some kind of power, supposedly, that he had obtained from, I guess, the ancient religions, the ancient mysticism beliefs of that time. So it wasn't even the same story. It's not even similar. So, and in the same way with Horus. If you go back and you read the story of Horus, Horus is nothing like. Go back and read for yourself. Go back and look at the story of Horus. And then come back and watch the video of Bill Maher, or whatever you call him, whatever his name is. You'll be shocked at the lack of similarities between Horus and Christianity and the story of Jesus, that just because Bill talks about him and uses clips from old Christian movies and makes these radical claims about him being born of a virgin and this and that and the other, Horus and his life resembles nothing of Christianity. But anyway, it's the same case with all of these, okay? None of these ancient Mediterranean religions, these pagan religions, none of them have any purpose or any reason to be borrowed from. We have everything we need predating 2000 BC to 400 BC, long before these other pagan religions, long before these other pagan Mediterranean ideologies. If anything is true, they borrowed from us because they liked the success that they saw in Christianity. Christianity is followings. Millions of people in the world now follow Christianity or claim to be Christian. In ancient times, hundreds and hundreds of people from Jerusalem and Judea to Samaria were following Jesus. They saw this, they liked it. And yes, Christianity has been successful. And the success is without any need to borrow from any other source of religious ideology. Any source of other ideology outside of the Bible, outside of the New Testament, or the Old Testament, simply cannot be proven. So I just wanted to make this video response to Bill Maher's video. Thank you for listening to it, and I hope that it'll inform you instead of following this guy, Bill Maher, who does nothing but make radical claims without any real verification of what he's saying. Thank you.